Hi there. So today we're going to be talking about the benefits of exercise, and we're going to be covering lots of different topics because there's loads of different benefits of exercise. We're going to be covering topics like the physical benefits, the psychological and mental benefits, the social benefits, neurological and medical. So we're going to be covering a few subheadings within that, and we're going to delve into them a little bit as well. So you may be someone that really enjoys exercise, or someone that really feels like they need to get into exercise, and we're just going to be talking about those sorts of benefits that might speak to you and make you feel like it's a good idea to start getting into exercise more often. So let's start with the physical side of things. So there's loads and loads of benefits for the physical. You can improve your cardiovascular fitness, so that's improving your heart and lungs. Your strength, you can improve your strength through exercise, and tends to be specific exercises that improve your strength. The reason why you might want to improve your strength is because you might be recovering from an illness or an operation and you've lost some strength and you want to build that back up again. You might just be finding as you're getting older your strength is declining, or it might be just something that you fancy trying out and doing some strength training. So certain exercises within the whole sort of umbrella of exercise are really good for building up strength, and they may well be doing body weight strength exercises or weighted exercise, so using dumbbells and barbells. So flexibility is one that is often neglected, and it's the type of exercise where you're doing stretching and mobility exercises, and that's something that we've added into the online subscription. So you get a weekly flexibility and mobility program that you can follow. And flexibility is quite important for different sporting activities, but also day-to-day life as well. So you might be struggling getting on and off the floor. That's not always going to be a strength issue. It might be a flexibility issue as well. Or you might be someone that's trying to perform at a high level in a sport, and you might not be able to reach as far, or you might not be able to bend into a certain position. And by doing regular flexibility and mobility exercises, you're actually going to improve your flexibility. So power is something that is sometimes confused with strength, and that's another area of your physical performance that can be improved through exercise. And power basically is your ability to exert a force at speed. So it's measured at how quickly you can exert a certain amount of force. And power could be, an example of power is maybe jumping or hopping or sprinting as well. So that might be more common to what people see in athletics, is someone that can exert the most amount of power can run really fast. Okay, so other areas of your physical well-being that exercise can benefit are weight loss. So a lot of people will be looking to lose weight. Maybe you've put on some pounds over lockdown and you're looking to try and reduce your weight. Exercise alone won't help you, maybe as much as you might want, but having a good nutritional basis as well, so eating well, trying to cut out the fatty foods and the sugary foods are going to help. And exercise is a really good way to work alongside that to improve your metabolism, so speed up how quickly you process food and nutrients within the body, but also it puts you in a positive frame of mind. Most often people struggle to do the nutritional side unless they're exercising, so it's really good for weight loss, both for your mindset but also because you're burning the extra calories and you're improving your metabolic rate as well, your metabolism. So another physical aspect of exercise is improving bone density. So when we exercise and lift weights and do body weight exercise, we actually put stress on the bones, and that will improve your bone density over time. And there is maybe some people are finding that their parents have got osteoporosis or low bone density, so you might want to start early to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Or you might have a diagnosis of osteoporosis or osteopenia, and that's where you've got a thinning of the bone. So exercise is a fantastic option to maintain bone health but also increase it as well. Okay, and the last one on my list here is increasing muscle mass. So that can work quite nicely alongside strengthening. You don't have to build muscle mass to get stronger, but you can do. So you might be, your goal might be to build muscle mass because you've lost it after maybe a knee injury or a knee operation, and you can see wasting or a lot of like a thinner leg on one side than the other. So you're likely to want to build muscle mass, and there's exercises like weight training that are really good at building muscle mass, and you can pick the right rep range as well. So repetitions is the amount of times you repeat a movement, and if you want to build muscle mass, the research suggests that doing around 8 to 12 repetitions will help to create hypertrophy, which is increasing muscle mass. So they're all the physical benefits. No, there's some of the physical benefits of exercise, and I'm sure you'll find tons more on the internet if you were to look. But that just shows you that there's something for you. If your goal is maybe improving your cardiovascular fitness, you can use a certain type of exercise to build that. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to build bone density, then try and exercise on a regular basis is going to help speed that process along. Okay, so let's move on to the psychological and mental side of exercise. So some people don't like exercise, and it actually will negatively impact them if they're forced to do it. But for yourself, if that is the case, then actually what you may find is that short-term lowering in mood because you don't enjoy it will actually be overturned if you stick to it, because a long-term improvement of exercise is improved mood. So you'll be much more upbeat, you'll feel more positive if you're regularly exercising. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule, so I'm not saying that it'll work for everybody, but it's scientifically proven that people's mood is improved for exercise. So that moves nicely onto some conditions that we sometimes experience through psychologically, and they're things like anxiety, depression, and stress. So these three conditions can be positively impacted by exercise. And it's really important to do regular exercise if you have these conditions, because it may help you become more productive in your day. It might reduce your anxiety levels and it reduce your stress. So maybe you're working long hours at work, which causes lots of stress. Some exercise at the end of the day or before, in the middle of the day as well, if possible, will actually reduce your stress levels and hopefully make you more productive while you're at work. Obviously, if you work long hours and do exercise as well, you're going to be maybe overloading your mind and body. So you might need to reduce your working hours and add some exercise in to help with your stress levels. If you've had depression for a long period of time, I completely understand that actually motivating yourself to do exercise can be really difficult. So it's about just trying to start with a small amount that's manageable for you and then building up. So they are the main positives within your psychological health that exercise can provide for you. One more that I'm going to cover is increased energy. So we have increased energy both physically and mentally. So what I find is towards the end of the day, if I've been working and I'm starting to feel mentally tired, some exercise can give me like a new lease of life, and then I feel good for the evening. Whereas if I didn't do the exercise, I might be falling asleep at 9. With the exercise, I can stay up till 10, 10:30 without feeling really sluggish and tired. So that your increased energy levels could be both physical, but also mental as well. Okay, so the next topic is your social well-being. So exercise, depending on what form of exercise you do, can actually increase the amount of interaction you have with others. Can be good for some, for you, or maybe not. If you like to spend time on your own, then that's not a good aspect for you. But if you are looking to increase the amount of time you're spending with others, get to meet new friends, then exercise plays a massive role in that, because you'll tend to be joining maybe a team or a class, or you're starting a sport where there's going to be people around you who are going to enjoy the same sorts of things as you. So you're going to have something in common, and you're going to start building those relationships with the people around you in that sport or in that activity. Obviously, when you first start, you're going to feel a bit nervous because you've not done it before, so you might feel like you might be a bit out of place, but there's going to be people around you that are either starting at the same time as you or have only been started recently, and they'll be able to help you along to make you feel more comfortable as well. As I say, it builds friendships because you've got things in common with the other people around you, and you meet people who are like-minded, so it's easier to make friends with them as well. And also, loneliness, I think, has been a big factor in lockdown because we've not been able to socialise with people. Now that things are starting to relax, you're going to be able to get out and spend time with people, even if it's social distancing, and you can use exercise as the way to do that. So we've covered physical, psychological and social, and we've covered loads and loads of different points within those topics that are really, really beneficial for you. So if you haven't heard anything that is sparking your interest at the moment, we've got 2 more to cover. So neurological, a bit more medical now. So we're talking about the brain and how exercise can have a positive impact on the brain. So first of all, if you train regularly and exercise regularly, you'll find that you can increase your memory. So that can be your short-term memory and long-term memory as well. So you'll retain information better. You'll have clearer memories. So if you remember when where have I put my keys? You might have a better memory of that, so it's easier to find them, or something a little bit more important than that. But I know when I lose my keys, it can be quite a frustration. So naturally, memory and cognition, so your brain's function, gradually declines, not too rapidly in a healthy person, but it can decline a bit. People become a bit forgetful. Exercise can counteract that and make sure that your brain's firing on all cylinders. So another topic that we can cover is that when you can't teach an old dog new tricks is a saying, but actually by doing regular exercise, it helps you learn new topics, new subjects more easily. So if you're still studying, you don't have to stop studying at 23, 24. You might be studying into your 40s, 50s and 60s, or even later, and you might be finding it hard to learn that new subject. If you're not exercising, then getting some exercise in as well might help you retain that information better, understand it better, because your brain's working more effectively. We're not going into too much depth into how the brain works, but we're just covering those sorts of benefits. So I would definitely suggest, if you're studying, or even if you're not studying and you're working, you find it hard to learn something new within your job, then exercise is a great option. So you're also going to have the physical aspects, the physical benefits as well within your brain. So you're actually going to be growing a stronger, more efficient, and you're stronger, and it's going to your brain's going to grow more effectively. So when tissues get old, they get replaced by new tissues all over the body, and that's the same within your brain. And if you're exercising, then the tissues that are laid down are going to be stronger and better quality than somebody that doesn't exercise at all. So I think that's a really, really important topic, because it protects against age-related disease as well. So we talk about things like dementia, Parkinson's. As we get older, there's more chance of having certain neurological conditions. A lot of it's genetic, but if you can have a positive influence on things like that, then why not? Like we see that dementia is on the rise in the population, partly because our population is aging and we're living longer, but also because our lifestyles may not be as, as physical as they used to be. A lot of people spend a lot of time working at their desks and they don't get as active. So if you have that positive impact on reducing the chance of having any age-related disease, then fitting some exercise in to do that, I think, is so important, and it's a no-brainer. So sorry for the pun. Okay, so the last topic I'm going to cover is medical. So again, some of you might be living with medical conditions, And if you don't exercise, then you're actually enhancing the problem sometimes. So I'm not blaming you. What I'm trying to say is that if you do exercise, then you can actually reduce the side effects of your condition and actually get rid of some of the conditions. So conditions that you can actually reverse through exercise and nutrition, diabetes. So if you eat better, exercise well, and reduce your weight, you can actually reduce the effects of type 2 diabetes, but you can also reverse it as well, so you can get rid of the condition itself. And that is becoming more and more known when people have actually done that. They've been diagnosed with diabetes, they've been taking medication to manage it, but they've turned their life around and they end up not having diabetes anymore. It's the same with high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You can actually reverse those changes through having a healthy lifestyle with exercise included. Okay, so some really, really positives for medical conditions. Also, the long-term effects of exercise can also reduce the chances of heart disease, strokes, osteoporosis. So these are quite severe medical conditions that you can actually reduce the chances of significantly to have a healthier older age, or middle to older age, because people are diagnosed with those sorts of conditions from like 40 onwards. So if you can get into a regular routine, you're going to reduce the chances of having lots and lots of medical conditions such as strokes, heart disease, and osteoporosis. So as you can tell, I'm a massive advocate of exercise, and I think that if you're not exercising, just starting off with something small can be really beneficial. And just touching on the medical side a little bit more as well, with lots of these conditions you have to take medication to manage them. So if you are able to overcome those conditions, or at least reduce the risk of them, then you're going to be taking less medication. So if you're taking medication for cholesterol or high blood pressure, if you can go back to your GP and show that your blood pressure and cholesterol are lower, and you're working really well using exercise to reduce those symptoms, then they may start weaning you off your tablets to the point at which you might not need to take them. And same with, like I say, the diabetes, you have to take medication. If you're able to exercise regularly to reverse those changes, eat well to reverse those changes, you don't need to take medication. And who likes taking medication? I don't think there is a person in the world that would choose it unless they had to have it. Okay, so that covers a whole host of benefits of exercise. Hopefully that covered something that might trigger you to want to exercise more, and I'm sure a lot of those topics will make you think that there's a really good reason to exercise. So within our program, we will be providing you with strength exercises and flexibility and mobility exercises. Within the sessions as well, you're going to be getting out of breath, and that's going to help work your heart and lungs. And overall, it should have a positive impact on all of those things that we covered. So hopefully that's given you even more motivation to get out there, exercise more, get involved with our training sessions more regularly, and hopefully reduce lots of these possible side effects to not exercising. So thank you all for listening. I think I said that it'll be around 5 minutes, but I've covered quite a lot, so I'm sure this has gone on for a good 10 to 15 minutes, but it's all good information, and hopefully that was useful for you. Looking forward to speaking to you all soon. Cheers, bye.